So since our last walkthrough about 2 days ago, they painted in quotes. They did not put up any base coat. They went right to color, as you can see.
Also in this bottom corner.
Yes. It's like that on every wall. This is the ceiling paint. They obviously didn't cover when the kids were little and were writing on my walls. The trim is still scorched, and I have a funny feeling that's not going to change. We noticed something else that was kind of funky. This is where their lights are going to be, their ceiling lights. Look where the door is. I don't know how they're going to get a ceiling light with the door. I'm a little concerned about that. Once again, we can see the spottiness of the paint job. And even if they go over that with a second coat, because they didn't put a base coat, things are still going to leak through. There are thumbtacks and screws that weren't taken down before they started to paint. And the plaster is all still falling down because it wasn't done properly. The hallway is the same way, very, very spotty. It was not base coated, and they made me sign something saying that if the paint scratches off the paneling, it's on me, not on them. So I think that's why they didn't base coat it. Once again, screws aren't taken out. Going into my son's room, I can't figure out why they did it like this. It's kind of confusing. There's still the digs in the floor, and now there's a second dig in the floor instead of just one. And please remember the plaster still has not been deodorized, and they're painting it, and there's still screws and tacks in the walls. The inside of the closet still has soot on the floor from the fire. This room didn't get burned, but it did get blackened from the soot. So that never got done either.
Radiators are still bent.
Radiators still have dents in the fins that haven't been fixed. Still have the dead outlet wide open.
Apparently the
And
electrical's done.
they did kind of a crap job here with the painting. They did as little as possible, and once again, there was no kills put up for a base coat. Top stairs is still cracked.
Still no handrail, but I hope they're working on that.
We noticed another big crack in the wall right here. And they also painted over a couple more nails. Now, all of the walls are streaky, every single one of them, which means that a base coat is never applied unless they're calling this a base coat.
Yeah, calling it one.
But
That's still blue.
right. And there's still all the damage to the paneling from where they yanked the nails out when they pulled it down. They didn't yank the finished nails out, they just yanked the paneling down, and it created a whole bunch of bubbles. You can see it over here too. This one is actually broken. We left a note for them to fix the board, and it's still upside down. We found the notes on the floor crumpled up. It's still at a square.
Why is there an X on it?
I couldn't tell you, but they still left the nail in the board. I don't know why they do that if they're painting. And there is more damage over here. Now, these are places where we didn't have pictures, so we can't even say, you know, oh, we were hanging pictures there. We had a bookcase here and here, And our television was on a stand over there, so that's new damage.
How about the outlet in his room?
Oh, I didn't show you this. This is still wrong too. This is still the wrong board, and I had left a note about that, and it still hasn't gotten changed, but it did get painted for some reason. And there's still the big broken board up here. There's still all the bent fins out here. And the heat is still on the interior walls in the other room.
Show them the window. Just proof that it's interior. There's
Yeah.
the window, and there's where it is.
And those have gotten even more bent.
Yeah, there's no cover on it.
Well, they should have done something to protect it.
We originally had all copper pipes, you know. Stupid plastic pipes.
And in this room, still have the outlet covered up without a new outlet in it. There's still no outlets in this room except for the strip, which is no legal strip. There's a lot of damage. You know, it wasn't properly replastered. So I don't know what they're planning on doing, if anything, about that.
Also, what's this wire for?
That's an old cable wire. We don't do that anymore, so that's fine. I'm not worried about that. When you come out
Still
here,
bad.
we still haven't addressed the issue of the threshold because the elevation changed. And we have a person with mobility issues in the house, which they know.
Also holes in the floor.
Holes in the floor from them moving the radiator.
Yep, that I'm not happy about either. No heat in the kitchen. Still, my baseboard heat is gone, and I had baseboard heat on these two walls. Very, very upsetting. And the fact that the entryway here is still much too narrow, and this wall didn't exist. It was right here. And he expanded the bathroom and changed the layout of the bathroom.
Now we don't have a pantry.
Yes, he took away my pantry, saying everybody wants a bigger bathroom. I did not. I needed the space.
The pantry's essential.
And in the back room, they have continued painting, but they have not finished the plastering. So I don't know why that happened. And there's paint on the pipes. But
Oh,
no
dear.
plaster where it belongs on the walls.
What's this hole in the ceiling?
Yeah, I don't know about that. And as you can see, the floor's taking quite a beating right here, which makes me nervous because I'm not sure how flat my floating floor is going to lay after that. And we still have the outlet
On the floor.
as well as bent fins.
On radiators that shouldn't be there.
Well, we did have heat back here, but it didn't run on two walls. I don't know why I have heat here and not in the kitchen. And then one of the outlets is covered up with plaster, which
How did that pass inspection?
I'm sure that's fine. I'm sure they can fix that, but the one on the floor is very, very...
This is just the breaker box. It's fine.
Are you showing them on the floor?
And they did move these over after we left a note about how we thought that they might be unsafe against the pipes. So, but I'm seeing footprints
Excuse me?
on my cabinets.
Hey, can we get an ID on that? I'm kidding.
So that means somebody stepped on them or kicked them.
Here's Kate.
Random jug.
And there's a few other issues, like the fact that the front stairs are it's a 9.5 inch step now on the outside. And there's still no outside faucet, which I had too. So,
There's a
and
little cap out there.
there's a cap, but I don't see a hole for it, and there's still no hole for a dryer vent. Even though they have the hookups for the washer and dryer over that way.
Is stuff full of paper or something?
Probably because of the painting, they probably had to do that. So that's not something that's really concerning. But the outlet on the floor and the interior heat and the fact that the wall is only 30 inches of an opening, even though that wall really shouldn't be grandfathered in because it didn't exist before, is very concerning. Because that doesn't meet with the American with Disabilities Act either. And that's our walkthrough for today.